So you
Right.
you are now being that judge of
Right.
who you're going to hire. So
Yes.
what do you look for when you're hiring?
Well, I don't read any specs, which is ironic because that's how I got hired. I don't want to read like a Modern Family and that someone wrote, because I just feel like you're watching the show, outlining it. I want to know what your voice is. I want to know, like, if you were to sit down at a computer, what's the story you want to tell? And does that feel appropriate for my sensibilities in this particular show? My advice that I always give is, when you're sitting down to write a spec, like a pilot or a movie, let's say if you're looking to get hired on a TV show, and you're sitting down to write a spec, a pilot spec, don't worry about it going on television or being bought. That's not why you're writing it. Write something that's so crazy and funny that the showrunner will have to meet you. So like the specs that I've responded to have been one that sticks out in my mind. I hired these writers I've worked with them now on 3 different shows. I read the spec that they wrote called Stern Savage, which was about Daniel Stern from the Wonder Years retires to like this small little town to write his book, and it's like all Daniel Stern like narration, like the Wonder Years. And Fred Savage comes, and he's like this like coke dealing, crazy man, and it's basically What About Bob, where the family takes to Fred Savage and they all turn on Daniel Stern, and it was so edgy and dark and funny. And I read it and I'm like, this is so nuts and amazing and brilliant. And I met with the writers and I'm like, you're hired. Like I want this voice on my show. So write a spec pilot that can really, I think if I was in that position, I'd want it to get bought and get on the air. You just have to like stick out from the crowd. So write something that's really unique and just a really cool, fun idea.